Welcome to UK Explored. In this video, I decided to brave an area that the national media refers to as Unlucky Street due to the number of assaults and other crimes that happen, and the local media even refers to it as one of the most dangerous streets that is a no-go area at night. I'm talking about the High Street in West Bromwich of all places. And do hang around because I go deep into West Brom's most dangerous estates after, and it actually gets a lot worse than the High Street, believe it or not. So visually, the High Street is exactly what you see here with your own eyes, and it's a reflection of what's happened to so much of the UK in recent years. Well-known brands and businesses have been replaced by discount stores, vape shops, phone shops, bookies, and a host of world food and fast food joints from around the world. Without being judgmental, this is just a natural process that happens as the needs and wants of the community changes, as the population becomes more diverse. Looking at the history and current demographic stats for West Brom, this market town has suffered the same fate as much of the Black Country. West Brom was once an area rich in coal and metals and had a flourishing industrial presence, but those days are long gone. Today, West Brom is in the bottom 30% of the most deprived areas in England, and its crime stats are through the roof, making it the highest crime rate area in the West Midlands, ahead of even Birmingham and Warsaw. The demographics for West Brom look like this. There's around 50% white and 30% Asian making up the population. And here is a breakdown of religion. While walking the high street, I did see some homeless people, beggars, people openly smoking weed. And it doesn't get much more obvious than these QR code stickers that I saw everywhere around the town. It shows some initiative, I guess. I will say that by day it's not that dangerous around here, but it is super depressing. And as soon as you get just a few steps off the high street, there is litter everywhere. People are fly tipping. There's piles of electronic tags like this which shoplifters have tossed. Signs of drug use. And it becomes even more murky as you head off into the estates. So while in West Brom, and after surviving the high street of course, I figured I'd take a look around a few of the most deprived and highest crime estates, and that brought me to here, Greets Green. Now, Greets Green is listed as the highest crime area in West Brom, with a ridiculously high crime rate of 322, but it's split into east and west, and it looks like the west might be the posh side, as it's only the third most dangerous area. As I mentioned earlier, West Brom is one of the most deprived areas in England, and Greets Green is the most deprived area in West Brom, so you know it's struggling. Seeing stats like this saying that 45% of children in the area are living in poverty and how food banks can't keep up with the demand doesn't feel good. What the heck is going on in this country right now? Anyway, we have the classic no fly tipping signs all over the place, threatening huge fines, and it usually just marks out where people come to dump their bulky items. There is litter lining the sides of the streets in places, and more so where it gets caught up in the bushes when it's windy. I think this channel is becoming well known for spotting sofas and mattresses out in the wild, and there are plenty of those across Greets Green. As you can see, the housing and the area is run down and it is in need of some TLC, but I've seen worse on face value on my travels, to be honest. Looking through some of the recent headlines, you get a picture of what's going on across West Brom. There are obviously loads of incidents related to the footy and hooligans, but ignoring those, there is a serious drug problem in the area, as you can probably imagine. There are some pretty serious county line operations and drug gangs operating in and around West Brom. Murders and serious assaults are more common than you'd like to see, as are armed robberies and other serious crimes. I'd probably go as far as to say that this park is the main feature in Greets Green, and there is Walsall Canal running close by, both of which should be a good thing as it's a welcome escape from the estates. But as you can see here, there is junk everywhere, including beer bottles and used drug needles. I think these guys are Canadian geese, and they were cool with me, but even they look like they're a bit miffed at the state of the place, to be honest. Well, When I was driving around West Brom, I couldn't help but see a load of high-rise tower blocks in the skyline to the north. So I drove over, and when I got there I actually asked a guy working in a shop what the area was called, and he said he didn't know, which is a bit weird. And it's clearly not defined on Google, so I'm just going to call it the north. Anyway, this has to be the largest number of high-rise blocks and flats in such a small area I've seen outside of London. There must be thousands of people living here. I've covered similar housing estates before in areas like Wolverhampton and Bristol, and it's well documented that crime rates are typically higher in and around this type of housing. I couldn't find any decent data on the area to prove that, but I think it's pretty safe to say that some pretty wild stuff is going to go down around here at times. Is this what we're going to see more of in the future as the population of the country continues to grow year on year? Probably. That said, I was impressed by the amount of CCTV on every building and how clean the area was. It does feel like the council has got a good grip on things around here. Anyhow, if anyone watching this has lived here or knows what it's like to live here, I'd love to hear about it. A lot of people are interested in house prices, and I know I am, and I get a lot of comments about it. So according to Rightmove, the average house price across West Brom last year was in the 200,000 range. This seems a little steep, honestly, and I don't think this data represents kind of the average home. I did browse some listings, and I saw some pretty decent 3-bed semis going for around 150 to 180k. I do have to add though, I came across a bunch of ex-crack dens. Just look at these pictures. Anyhow, that's it for West Brom. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I welcome all comments and suggestions from where else we should visit. Cheers.